So why, as a middle school teacher, was I continuing to receive kids who didn't know their math facts? Why is this happening to us? That's what we need to look at. Here's the deal. Facts, knowing your math facts, is the lowest level of math, of knowing math. And there are only really a couple of things to remember. Why is it so hard? There are two reasons why our kids have not been learning math facts for all these years. One is that we usually introduce them too quickly to kids. For years, people have been saying, learn your 4s, all 10 of them. Learn your 5s, all 10 of them. There isn't another time in school where we try to teach kids 10 things at one time. 10 is too many. That's crazy. And I want to stop here because when I first figured this out, I kept thinking, well, then why could I do it? Good question. The question is, we all did it, but here's why we didn't really. Think about this for a minute. When you got your 4s, say, your teacher said, learn your 4s, you already knew 4 times 1. You probably knew 4 times 2. You knew 4 times 5, and you knew 4 times 10. You already knew 4 of them. That leaves us only 6 to learn, right? And because of the audience in this room, who I'm talking to, for the most part, we were all savvy learners. We knew how to teach ourselves things. So what we did for ourselves, whether you recognize it or not, is you took those 6 math facts that you didn't know, and you learned 3 of them until you nailed it, and then you taught yourself 3 more. Whether you know that or not, that's what you did. And that's why it looks like you learned 10 at one time, but you didn't really. Now, if you think about our kids who are in our classrooms now, number one, they're naive learners. They don't know how to teach themselves things. They don't have that strategy of, oh, I'll chunk it up for myself. They don't have that unless we teach it to them. And they may not know 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 10, or 4 times 5, like we did. So our kids are coming in behind where we went into school, or where we faced our math facts. The other thing that we do is that there isn't often a correction procedure in place. When kids get things wrong in a math fact, we just kind of go, that's not right. There needs to be something in there where we teach them that math fact. You don't know this, let me teach it to you. And often because we rely on flashcards at home with parents or kids learning their math facts independently, because you're not going to stand up there and teach math facts every day. 4 times 2, figure it out. 4 times 3, figure it out. We're not there as teachers to do a correction procedure. If we chunked up information for kids, and if there was a correction procedure when they got things wrong, we did the same thing for them every time they got it wrong until they learned it. We decided, our hypothesis was we could teach kids their math facts better, faster, and more, and to a higher level of accuracy if we had these things, 2 things in place. So when we started to build our math facts program, those are the 2 things we focused on, making sure that kids were only learning little bits of information at a time, and that someone was there to correct them when they made a mistake. So we did both of those. In Rocket Math, we control for how fast the information is coming to kids. You're not going to learn 10 at a time. And it's based on what you learned. If you learned the ones that we tried to have you learn yesterday, we'll give you some new ones. If you didn't learn those, I'm not giving you new ones because you didn't learn the ones I gave you yesterday. And we're going to control for that in a very simple way. It sounds like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a lot of work for me as a teacher, but we took care of that for you because we were both teachers. We know what kind of time you don't have in your classroom. The other thing is that because we use peer practice in this program, there is always somebody with a student while they're learning their math facts to give them feedback. Nope, 2 times 8 isn't 19. Here's what it is, and we'll show you how that works. But kids are practicing with someone right there with them to give them corrective feedback.